heard through our manager that ATB was opening their arts and culture wing. A lot of bands will have the music, but you have to think of it in a financial way to make it sustainable. Playing music together all makes us happy. It's a bit of a grind, but it's all the more worth it. We're Altameda, and we're proof that ATB listens.
Change of view, a kaleidoscope of fantasy singing arms
Live from the Weber Academy Performing Arts Centre in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, ATB Financial presents Stampede City Sessions.
My name's Courtney Marie Andrews, and you're watching Stampede City Sessions.
Hi, I'm Jim Cuddy from Blue Rodeo and the Jim Cuddy Band, and you are watching Stampede City Sessions.
Hey, we're Madison Violet,
and you're watching the Stampede City Sessions.
Welcome to Stampede City Sessions. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Please join me in a huge Calgary welcome for Madison Violet.
House for sale, get on the rails, honey, gonna make a change. I know it's gonna hurt, for better or for worse. Oh, honey, it's a crying shame. You don't have to ask, it's the talk of the town. Caught in the act, I keep letting you down. So tell me when you get your heart working. Tell me when you figured it out. Tell me when you get your heart working. Tell me when you figured it out. Babe, we best sleep on this. Just think of all the things we'll miss. And the money is running low. You wake up in the morning light. You see I never made it home last night. You don't have to ask, it's the talk of the town. Caught in the act, I keep letting you down. So tell me when you get your heart working. Tell me when you figured it out. Tell me when you get your heart working. Tell me when you figured it out. 'Cause I know what I've done, I've been a reckless. I know what I've done and I regret it. I know what I've done. I know what I've done. I know what I've done, I've been a reckless. I know what I've done. Tell me when you get your heart working. Tell me when you figured it out. Tell me when you get your heart working. Tell me when you figured it out. Thank you so much. You and I could be living out on a houseboat, just a mile and a half from the big smoke. I got myself together now, I like my new place. The street is kind of quiet, but it don't make a waves like I did, like you did, like we did, like I did, like you did, like I did, like you did, like we did. Baby, we weren't built for these ships, like I did, like you did, like we did. Baby, we weren't built for these ships. You and me, we could have the sea outside our front door. Wake up to the beat of her lover boy on the lake shore. Found a level ground that's good for me. Spending all my money, but not my dignity, like I did, like you did, like we did, like I did, like you did, like I did, like you did, like we did. Baby, we weren't built for these ships, like I did, like you did, like we did. Baby, we weren't built for these ships. Oh, 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 oh. Baby, we weren't built for these ships. Oh, 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 oh. Baby, we weren't built for these ships. Thank you so much. It
is so lovely to be back here in Calgary.
And to be a part of this Stampede City Sessions. What a wonderful event. So thank you guys, everybody here, for putting this together.
This is Mr. Jake Zapatuchny over here, sporting the lovely bass and guitar. I have a question for you all. Has anybody had a good cry today? Yeah!
Nobody in Calgary cries.
Whoa, it even sounded like a gentleman, which is like really amazing. Okay, usually it's just like, no, it's rain on my face from a guy, but
What's
no.
this salty liquid?
I think having a good cry is good. I've been having a lot of those lately. It seems like every time I jump into the back of an Uber, I start crying. I don't know what it is. But then I get to the airport or wherever I'm getting to, and I feel like I'm done. I get out. I apologize profusely for what I just put the person through, and then I feel like a lot more realigned. A little more balanced, a little more centered. And so I think crying is a good thing. And my brother Stevie was never a crier. Actually, my mom says she can't even really remember him crying much as a child. So we wrote this for him. I think if he had shed a few more tears, shed the skin every once in a while, he might have had less struggles in his life. So this is for Stevie. This is called Crying. That's this meager tune.
I think that little tenor guitar had a cry before the show. It's dehydrated, that's what it is.
Poetry, no fire, no telling you're tired, no litter, no gold, no growing old. It's not a bad world, brother. It's not a bad world. Cry your eyes out. It's all about crying your eyes out. So cry on me now. Cry on me now. No shepherd, no shame, no pictures to frame, no fix, no glory, no telling your story. It's not a bad world, brother. It's not a bad world. Crying your eyes out. It's all about crying your eyes out. So cry on me now. Cry on me now. Now that you're gone, I hope you get a chance to sit down with God. I hope you get a chance to question the man in cloth, 'cause it's not a bad world, brother. Ooh, it's not a bad world, brother. Ooh, it's not a bad world, brother. Ooh, it's not a bad world. Crying your eyes, it's all about crying your eyes. So cry on me now. Cry on me, cry your eyes. It's all about crying your eyes. So cry on me now. Cry on me now.
Thank you so much.
Well, about the mid-1990s, I was coming home from a class ski trip. Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia, where, you know, we're known for our giant ski hills out there. Great slalom. And I got off the bus. I got off the school bus. And I went into the house, and my mother was in there, and she had locked herself in her bedroom, and she was really upset. And I found out the reasoning why was that while I was on the ski trip, my brother, Ashley, also a musician, he phoned from New York City. He was there doing a play, and he phoned to tell my mother and father that he was gay. And this came as quite a shock for my parents. And, you know, he was pretty good about it. He gave them a lot of time to sort of get used to it before the rest of the world found out. It was about 7 or 8 minutes. Yeah, he told them that he was going to be coming out in this big, large American publication, a gay publication, so they sort of had to get on it quick. But they did really well, and I think the hardest thing for them was the community. I grew up in a town of 330 people in Cape Breton called Cregnish, and the community turned their backs on my parents, and they would go out, and sort of every newspaper and every magazine would have my family's face slathered all over the front cover with a scandalous headline. And then they would come home, and the answering machine would just be completely full of anonymous messages from people just asking what my parents did wrong to screw up their children. So this is what my parents had to deal with for a while there. And so Brentley and I decided we would write a song sort of for those people that we think that now, after all these years, you know, they've learned, they've traveled, they've discovered that we would hope that they would want to do over and that they would react differently. So we wrote this song, it's called All Over Again.
I remember the night, I can still see the light that would fall through the cracks in the door she's behind. Would be days before I'd see her face from the crying. Oh, I know for a while how they put you on trial and they call from the way, leaving words I would tell, and they'd hide all the faces when they'd start to yell. If I do it all over again, could do it all over again, I would sit in a class where I'd squint at the gashes and scratches that dug in the backs of the chairs. It had 3-letter words and it spelled out their fears, and I'd cover your name with a marker and shame. Oh, I'd wish I was stronger, but it would take time, for I'd realize that your love was no crime. If I could do it all over again, could do it all over again. If I could do it all over again, could do it all over again. And had I known back then all the pain you held for loving him, and had I known back then all the pain you held for loving him, if I could do it all over again, do it all over again. If I could do it all over again, could do it all over again. And had I known back then all the pain you held for loving him, and had I known back then all the pain you held for loving him. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Madison Violet. I'm going to let you guys share this one.
Okay, all right.
That was amazing.
Where should I go?
Your-
How about I go on this side?
Okay, how about I'll go over here?
Thank you for the dance.
I love dancing. Your harmonies are just incredible. And Jake, your voice is amazing with theirs as well. We've been watching a lot of your videos and interviews online and reviews, which are all great. One thing that I'm always curious about is how bands get their names. And I couldn't find anywhere in anything that was written on how you came up with, you started out as Mad Violet, and then you changed it up to Madison Violet. What was the inspiration for the name of your band?
Well, do we have an hour and a half?
Can you shorten that
I'll
down
give
to
you the
like,
Coles Notes
yeah.
version. How we got Mad Violet, we bought a camper van. We first met, bought a camper van, ran down to the desert to write our first record, and we ended up in New Mexico near a place, in Deming, New Mexico, near Roswell. You know, think X-Files. And we had an absolutely sort of out-of-body experience at this campsite in a hot spring. And I'm space-barring it. And the woman who checked us into that hot spring, her name was Violet, and Brenly doesn't think she was from this planet.
She absolutely was not. Neither were any of her cats that had 0 tails and 1.5 eyes. It was a bizarre experience, and there were no drugs involved or alcohol, just maybe a little bit of craft in her.
KD can do that to people.
KD can.
So obviously she
cheese.
was mad, so it was Mad Violet, and then you just...
Over the years, it sort of just morphed into Madison, and yeah, it's Violet is Brenly's middle name, and her grandmother's name, and Madison is my niece, and it sort of just evolved into that.
Oh, cool. Well, it's a great name. I really
you.
love it, and thanks for sharing the story with us.
Thank you.
You guys tour, well, actually, when you first got together, when you talk about that first song and when you guys first met each other, a lot of the reason you wanted to form a band was to tour the world and to see a lot of the world, and you've been doing that for the last 20 years. Where do you typically tour these days?
We tour a lot in Europe now. We do Canada. We're heading. I've been living in California for the last couple of years, so we're trying to do the Californian coast as well. And but Europe, Australia, anywhere they'll take us, anywhere the food is good and they're willing to listen, we'll go.
Well, you seem to be very popular. I've watched a lot of interviews and shows that you're on the BBC, and everywhere you go, you seem to be very, very well received.
Well, thank you. It's really just going to find the best coffee.
Well,
Actually, speaking of the best coffee, Phil and Sebastian is my favorite coffee in the world. I love it. I actually find it I have to drive an hour from my home in Venice Beach to Rancho Cucamonga because they have Phil and Sebastian there.
well, we have them here, so.
Yes, I know. I'm going to be bringing about 25 bags home with me.
Finally, one more question. The song that you opened the show with tonight, Tell Me. I understand that it's really the story of your lives and when you first met. Tell us a little bit about that time and about the background of that song and when you first got together.
Well, when we first met 20 years ago, don't do the math, 20 years ago, we formed a band and fell in love, and the industry, the people that we were working with, all sort of said, if you want to have a career and be able to do this, you need to hide who you are, hide your relationship. And that's what we did. So we bought the camper van, drove down south to New Orleans and all the way across to Malibu, and we wrote our first record. And the video sort of encapsulates that story. And we hired two real babes to play us 20 years ago in the video.
Oh, you guys are still real babes. Come on.
We paid her to say that. Thank you.
Well, it's an awesome story. The video is amazing, and it definitely should have been nominated, and it is. So we wish you the best of luck in that.
Thank you.
We hope that you'll play a few more songs for us.
As if you listen, yeah.
Again, thank you so much for coming to play. We have super enjoyed it. Ladies and gentlemen, Madison Violet. Thank you.
All right.
Well, I'll pay the rent. You pay the ransom if you can. 'Cause by accident, we're down to our last cent. The money ain't coming in like I'd hoped. And all this smoke, it's like hammer in my throat. It's only rock and roll with a sold-out show. Darling, please, can we go home? So quiet down in front. Gotta get through this before I burn out. Hey, mister, don't you run this town. I can't hold my tongue, so bring the curtain down. The money ain't coming in like I'd hoped. And motor court hotels are gonna confiscate my soul. It's gonna hurt like hell when the story's too sad to be told. But darling, please, can we go home? Coming in like I'd hoped. We're a day too late, about $1 too short. I'm run down straight, I can't give it no more. Darling, please. Darling, please. Darling, please. Can we go home? Thank you.
Well, Lisa and I met, I think she mentioned already, 20 years ago. And when we started playing together, we found out that our fathers sat beside each other in school. And that my grandmother's kitchen was a place where Lisa played the fiddle many times long before we met. My father is one of 16 children, and my mother is one of 10 children. And I waited my whole life to find out whose family makes up the other community, the other half of the community.
Yeah, my father is one of 15 children. My mother is one of 18 children. So we call them litters on the East Coast. There's not a lot to do out there. I think it's fishing and farming and
Fiddling.
fiddling.
My grandmother, my dad's mom, she was a remarkable woman. She's one of my favorite people in the whole world. And she's a bit of a legend in this little community called Craignish. At the age of 15, she had her first job. She was a lighthouse keeper. At the age of 18, she had her first son. And at the age of 42, she had the litter. That was number 16. I asked her, I said, Grandma, how can someone possibly deliver 16 children? She said, with the rosary in one hand and a shot of moonshine in the other, Brenly, after 10 of them, they seem to just kind of fall right out of you. She's one of the wittiest people I've ever met in my life. Anyway, just before she turned 101, I was able to write this song for her. This is called Christy Ellen Francis. She knows the salt-stung eyes of a tired captain. Oh, the lighthouse keeper, she led them home. And she learned from the safety of the harbor how to mother 16 of her own. This house is never gonna be the same, 'cause I doubt you're ever coming home again. But you put 32 mittens on 32 hands. Oh, I love you, Christy Ellen Francis. Well, there's something about the quiet in the kitchen. There's no yellow in the Inverness sun. And I know you don't need anyone's permission to go when you know your time has come. 'Cause we'll gather here, it's our family trade for your 100th year. And we'll celebrate, 'cause you put 32 mittens on 32 hands. Oh, I love you, Christy Ellen Francis. You put 32 mittens on 32 hands. Oh, I love you, Christy Ellen Francis. Thank you very much.
All right, we're gonna do a song right now that was inspired by a little area in Cleveland, Ohio, called Shaker Square. And I was living down there for a few months when I was doing the Mamas and Papas musical. I was there to evoke the essence of Michelle Phillips with my bleached blonde hair. And it was quite a special show, beautiful harmonies. I learned so much about sex and drugs and rock and roll in the 60s from Denny, who was an original Papa. His stories he told us every night on stage, even the better ones off stage. And but every night he would say that he used to drink Crown Royal, you know, came in those purple bags. So he said that by the end of the 60s, he had enough of those purple bags to make drapes for his whole house. So I think they had a good time. So this little area where we were living when we were doing this musical inspired this song.
Time coming, oh, we tried, you and I never so much eye-to-eye. Stuck along the south side of the rails, there ain't no room to fail. Ohio, never been there for you. I just couldn't follow through. I walk along the streets of Shaker Square. No, they never turn the lights out there. Oh, you're my feelings. See, I've only got the one. It's been living and not healing. Oh, you're my feeling. And all that we become, I'll give in if you believe it. That I love, that I love, that I love, that I love. Oh, Ohio, Ohio, oh, Ohio. Past off guard, brave the storm and shield the heart. Our love has its up and downs. Can it take another round? Ohio, never been there for you. I just couldn't follow through. I walk along the streets of Shaker Square. Oh, they never turn the lights out there. Oh, you're my feelings. See, I only got the one. It's been living and not healing. Oh, you're my feeling. And all that we become, I'll give in if you believe it. That I love, that I love, that I love, that I love.
gonna do the do-si-do up here for
Yeah.
a minute. Thank you so much. You guys are lovely.
All right. Well, now we know you can sing, so now you're really in for it.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Come as you are. I found lately you don't come without a war. Come as you are. I found lately you don't come without a war. We lost a little time down in Mount Eliza, thumbing a ride, running from the lies of Georgia. We been through the flooding and the rains. Honey, there's a sad in your eyes. I gotta wash Georgia out of your heart. Come as you are. I found lately you don't come without a war. Come as you are. I found lately you don't come without a war. We done a lot of crying at the Seven Hills Diner. April on the Rhine, a flat line. This love got harder. We've been through the desert and the flames. Honey, there's a sad in your eyes. I gotta wash Georgia out of your heart. Come as you are. I found lately you don't come without a war. Come as you are. I found lately you don't come without a war. Come as you are. Come as you are. You're too good. Come as you are. Come as you are. Keep that going. I found lately you don't come without a war. I found lately you don't come without a war. I found lately you don't come without a war. I found lately you don't come without a war. I found lately you don't come. I found lately you don't come. I found lately you don't come without a war. So come as you are. Come as you are. And when you're down on your luck and life ain't worth a damn, find a girl with far away eyes. And when you're downright disgusted, life ain't worth a damn.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna finish this off by, you know, Bradley and I are used to kitchen parties and singing in kitchens, so we're gonna unplug, we're gonna come down there to you, and we're gonna have a bit of a sing-along. Is that all right?
Thank you so much to Andy on the sound up there, and Tobias doing the monitors, and Toby, I think he's both, right? And everybody here, thank you so much for coming out and supporting this. We really appreciate it.
All right, we're gonna come down to you.
flight behind clouds. No, I've never seen the sun come down quite like the way it does in my hometown. All right, here we go. It ran away, I feel it on my heart. It's on my heart. It ran away, I feel it on my heart. It's on my heart. It ran away, I feel it on my heart. It's on my heart.
Stampede City Sessions is presented by ATB Financial, supported by Calgary Crafted Village Brewery, Tourism Calgary, closed captioning provided by Executive Mat Service.
Hey, we're Madison Violet.
As guests of the Stampede City Sessions, we have the opportunity to stay at Hotel Arts, Calgary's premier boutique hotel.
Thank you for supporting live music and traveling musicians.
Thank you.
We've all known each other for a long time. We've all played music together. We've been doing it so long now that it just feels like second nature. We didn't really realize where it was going to take us, but here we are. We're shooting an ATB commercial in our jam space. This is what we feel like we were meant to do, and we all have some sort of sixth sense together when we played together. And I think a lot of bands will have the music, but you have to think of it in a financial way to make it sustainable. I heard through our manager that ATB was opening their arts and culture wing. They're a unique bank in that they actually seem to care about artists, not just musicians, but visual artists, theater, just showing that they're trying to put in the effort to make connections with the arts community, I think is extremely important. We're Altameda, and we're proof that ATB listens. Why do you guys do this?
I don't know what else I'd do.
Yeah, can't do anything else.
Yeah.
Right here. This is where you can go from the vibrant hum of the city to the breathtaking beauty of the mountains. And back again, all before dinner. From wildlife to nightlife. Right here in Calgary. This is where unforgettable lives. Start planning your vacation today at visitcalgary.com.